Hi, I'm Catherine Costa from TrueNorthArts.com, and look who's with me. This is Milo. Say hi, everyone. I thought I'd bring him along because it is the full moon in Leo. You want to get down? So it is the full moon in Leo, and I thought a little feline energy would be great for to set the tone. This video is part of my Traveling by Moonlight series, where each new moon and full moon I pause to take a look at the energies of that lunation. And how do I do that? I look at what sign the moon and sun are in, and I pull out a theme that we can learn from and put into practice. For the Leo full moon, we're looking at three things. We're looking at what energizes us, how we can flex our creativity, and what would make it fun. So we can bring that to whatever it is that we're endeavoring, whatever it is we want to work towards and manifest. I want you to know that in the blog post that goes with this video, I put together a table that lists every zodiac sign and what energizes that sign and how they naturally shine. So definitely go check that out after you watch this video. Now in this video, I did something a little differently. I selected specific tarot cards that relate to Leo. So it's more of a lesson than a reading. With each blog post, I share a featured art project. And in this one, I show you how we take creative liberties working with my stencil to create a beautiful solar plexus inspired mandala. So what do I have here? Well, I think your eye's probably going to the center, the focal point of this reading. And look at that mandala. I created it. It is the solar plexus mandala using my stencil from Stencil Girl products. If you know how to draw mandalas, and I've got tutorials for that, it's really pretty basic. It's the center design, which is traditionally associated with the solar plexus. We've got a circle with a downward pointing triangle and 10 lotus petals. The Leo in me decided to get creative and not use the other additional lotus petals that I have in the stencil, but instead I drew in these rays. The thing that was so much fun about doing this is that while this is all carefully measured, this here is where I went freeform. I used the petals, the tips of them, as a general guideline for where the base of each ray would be. Now, I didn't limit myself to that. You can see that it varies it. And I like that because it gives an organic feel. The rays themselves, it was just fun to just go with the flow with them. This is a wonderful way to loosen up and really let go of that perfectionist tendency or desire for everything to be carefully measured. And a couple of other design tips I want to point out here is when you look at the rays, what I did was I initially the outline, then I went back in and followed that contour. That creates a nice border. Then I went back and I thickened up the outer border. Varying the weight of your lines creates interest. You can see how I did that with these petals as well. The color associated with the solar plexus is this bright, cheery yellow. Think of the sun. The solar plexus is our internal sun. The Leo in me invites you to bring in another color. This is not a traditional solar plexus mandala. It is a personal mandala, so that means we can take creative liberties. For mine, I went with sky blue. I love the vibrancy of blue and yellow, and I kept some of the white areas as those also add a freshness to the design. So I hope this inspires you. And when you're creating your mandalas, you can be reflecting on the themes in this video. I expand on those in the related blog post, and you'll see here I've added citrine rough cut gemstones throughout. This is a way to further energize, adding your mandala to a altar and then bringing in some gemstones. You can further energize the intentions that you've infused into your artwork as you're working on it. These can be placed like I have here in between the rays. You can place them on top of the mandala and other spots around it. You can work with a variety of gemstones. Note that the color of the citrine really reflects the same energy and healing properties associated with the solar plexus. All right, let's take a look at the cards that I picked. These are from the Lightseers Tarot. The tarot is divided into two main areas. We have the major arcana, and that's where these cards come from, and the minor arcana, and these cards down here come from that. The major arcana represent big milestones, big areas, pivotal moments, inflection points in your life. The minor arcana represent the energies that are happening in the moment, more of a daily or within the week. It's more of a short term, what's going on. These first two represent qualities and aspects of Leo. Leo is ruled by the sun. This is the sun card. And what do we see? A lot of wonderful energy, vitality. This is a card of joy. And when we get the sun card, it's really an opportunity for us to tune in and notice what energizes us and use that as our internal GPS, our navigational tool. The other thing that the sun does, especially, at the full moon, is it shines a light on what's going on in our lives and in the shadow areas. A new moon, the sky's really dark. We don't see the moon. When we get into a full moon, we've got the moon is very bright, similar to the sun. And so the sun is asking you, where do you want to step out into that spotlight? Where might you have been either playing small or you're hiding? What gifts and talents of yours are ready to be seen in the world? Putting yourself out. The next card from the major arcana that I selected is the Strength card. And if you've looked at my other videos, we've seen this before. This card is a beautiful representation of the duality that we have within us. We have on one side here in this illustration, a woman, and on the other side, we see a lion. That lion can represent your inner fierceness, but also that inner saboteur, those words inside of us that we hear that speak out when we're feeling vulnerable. It also may be when we're giving our power away, when we're saying yes to things when really we want to say no, but we're being nice. We're being over accommodating. Well, that internal side, that Leo in you or that lion aspect in you is often roaring. It may be in the form of tears. It may be in the form of having bursts of overwhelm and frustration and speaking out, but in unexpected, maybe some unhealthy ways. It's not the best communication because you've been bottled up. Well, that's just a few examples of how that internal part of you is really speaking out and trying to get your attention and say, hey, why are you giving your power away again? To work with this aspect, especially when a flare-up is happening, is to tune into the gentle side of your nature. This is really in the heart chakra, the gentle lamb. Think of just how soft and sweet and graceful that is. When we tap into this aspect of ourselves, because we have both, this aspect can help to bring understanding and compassion and loving kindness to yourself and say, hey, let's talk about it. And those of us who are into journaling, pull out a notebook. In my other bonus video, that internal critic shows up as the dragon, and you can go check that out when you're done with this one. Now, this third card I pulled because we are coming up on the Chinese Lunar New Year, and this year is the year of the fire horse. Of course, we see a couple of horses here, so I thought, ooh, this has got some horse energy. Let's talk about what the chariot can mean for us. Here we see a light and dark horse. They're not bridled, and you can see that they're powerful. There's a lot of horsepower here. They are moving fast in the same direction, even though they're not bridled. We see kind of like energetic lines coming from the charioteer, and he is taking a very strong leadership role here. He's not being led by them. He is the leader in this. He is the one who has got his eyes set on his goal. He is focusing, and he is bringing in these two different energies and focusing them. These two may be things that are vying for your attention, that could be distracting you from your ultimate goal. He is taking his energies and his intentions and he is focusing on that future spot, that goal that he's going to. He is determined and not wavering. All right, so that's the energy of the Chariot. Chariot is often an indicator when you pull this card of an upcoming victory, especially if you stay focused on what your goal is. These cards are all from the suit of Wands. There are 4 suits. Each one represents a different element and aspect of the self. We're going to focus today on the Wands because it is a fire element, and here we're all about that fiery energy. Leo is a fire sign. These 4 cards are from the court cards. So for each suit, we have Ace to 10, and then we have the 4 court cards. These show a progression in many ways of different stages. And as I share the story of each of these cards, think about where you're at with your intention or your life path or something you're working towards. We're going to begin with the Page of Wands. Pages got a lot of energy. We have our page-like moments, especially with projects. When we look at starting something, it starts with a spark of an idea. And that's what this is. This is the spark. There is a lot of curiosity, enthusiasm, and energy in this card. So we're seeing that she is very playful. There is no fear at this stage. This is really, that fun stage of what if and exploring the possibilities. It's starting with that creative idea, that impulse, and taking some of the initial first steps. Moving right along to our Knight of Wands. The Knight cards are all about action. It's taking that spark and moving with it. Here we see a woman. Look at her expression. She is beating the drum that echoes her heart. This is where the spark is now being nurtured into a flame. The Knight of Wands is encouraging you to play and have fun with what it is you're pursuing. With each step of the way, this Knight is saying, have fun. Just lose yourself in the process. And I love seeing the horse. Again, another nod to the Chinese fire horse. It also captures this energy and makes a connection between Leo and that horse energy. Here we have the Queen of Wands. The Queen is one of the boss cards. She is so comfortable in her own skin. She knows what she wants and she gets it. She makes no excuses. No, she's not apologetic in any way, shape, or form. She is just making things happen. We see here that she's got one hand open and we can see the flame. It's like she shows some mastery in how she is working with that element. In the other hand, look how confidently she holds up her wand. She is showing that she has this. She is claiming this. The black cat in front, we can associate this with tapping into and trusting your intuition. So that divine feminine aspect of intuition and being confident in being able to realize that which you want to manifest. And then lastly, we have the King of Wands. And here we'll look at the beautiful Leo in the background there. This is the visionary. This is the leader. This is the one who is unwavering in pursuit of his dreams and goals. When the king shows up, he is emphasizing how important it is for you to have a clear vision and to confidently and boldly go in the direction of that dream, to move with conviction. So here we have our tarot cards that align with the Leo full moon. Thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. I'd love to hear how this relates to you, and definitely swing by my website, truenortharts.com.